What's up guys, this is KDiz from KDiz Video Gaming. You are listening to my new pilot show, Retro Gaming Tracks. If you don't know what you're listening to right now, you're probably listening to the wrong show, but welcome anyway. The aim of this pilot, if we go past the first episode, is to take you through a journey from the 8-bit through to the 32, 60, 64-bit era. And we'll see where this goes. That, of course, was the fanfare from Final Fantasy VII. We're going to mix it up a little bit now. Hilltop Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which is most people's favourite Sonic game and probably my favourite Sonic game, and that's not very controversial to say. What is controversial to say is I've not played Sonic Mania yet, which has become a lot of people's favourite Sonic game, and I'm recording this in August 2018, so it's pretty bad that I've not played it. But since Sonic Mania Plus is now out and now I have a Switch, I've got no excuse. It is on the shopping list and I do plan to get it because that 16-bit style is kind of, you know, where Sonic shone, let's be fair. Right, we're going to change it up back to the PS1 era. This is from Die Hard Trilogy. I believe this is from the Die Hard 2 part of the game. And this is the airport scene, which I used to play with a control pad rather than a light gun because I had it on a demo disc which came with my PlayStation back in 1997. So yeah, let's roll with this one. That is Fight at Cooper's Forts from Super Mario Galaxy soundtrack, which, yes, that doesn't fall into my already limited category of 32 64-bit maximums, but if I remember right, the original sort of tune to that was used in Super Mario 64, which I should get hold of really, not the game, just the soundtrack, to compare the two versions, obviously with the better sound capabilities that we had by the time Mario Galaxy came out. What a game that was. Both of them, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. I'd love to see a third one in that series. You know, they've gone down the Odyssey route now. Mario Odyssey is one hell of a game, and it's, you know, you'd only think they'd want to go forward with games rather than going back to a style. But Super Mario Galaxy brought so much to the table at the time and was such a joy to play, and the levels were awesome, that it would be nice if they could finish that off as a trilogy in a way. Right, more songs. I just had to let that one play out. That was so cool. Annoyingly, I don't have the official recorded artist for that track. I received that track from a C64 remix disc that Retro Gamer magazine gave away several issues ago. I believe that they were all taken from a huge library on a C64 remix website, which I'm going to dig up and put a link in. That's if you're watching on YouTube, I'll put the link in. If you're listening on anything else, then you'll have to search for that yourself, but do so, because the CD that came with Retro Gamer was absolutely awesome. I wasn't familiar with all the games because, you know, a lot of the games that were released on there did, you know, I didn't play on a C64, so I hadn't played, you know, them particular ports, or they're all just completely games that I'm that unfamiliar with. But the soundtracks were awesome, and them remixes were wicked. To keep with that sort of metal rock theme, here's another sort of cover of a very famous arcade game track, and it's Double Dragon. guys, I've got to start doing my research before I'm putting this together, because I got hold of that track probably about 10 years ago. Maybe not quite that long, but when I was just digging around online. And again, I don't have the information about who recorded that, if it was just a garage band or if it's, well, I'm assuming it wasn't anyone particularly famous. But after making your ears bleed a bit with some proper heavy rocking tunes, let's take you back to some 8-bit NES stuff that's actually the original recording from the game rather than the cover. This is from the ever popular yet frustrating but awesome Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was very cool and very rocking in its own right. But the thing about the NES games, one more thing about that is it's basically a Konami game, and Konami could really do no wrong with their music in the 80s during them NES and early 90s in them NES games. And you'll be probably hearing plenty of Konami tracks throughout this show. Not necessarily this episode, but the series in general. But where am I going next? Yes, these tracks don't tend to, they just loop for a minute and then that's it at the most. That was probably running for about a minute and that played a time and a half. So there's not many NES games where, that you get a full work of art musically. But there's one that I remember as a kid, which was a frustrating as hell game, but it was such an epic entrance music title screen, that's the official term for it. What am I saying, entrance music? I'm talking like it's a wrestling show or something. But the title music for the next game will blow you away for an 8-bit NES game. It's pretty epic to say the least, and I'm just going to play it and then tell you what it is afterwards. Here we go. was pretty epic, like I said before, for an NES game. You know, you're over 2 minutes of non-looping music, and so much going on in that as well. I don't know if they had a secret extra sort of audio channel in the cart there than the 5 that came with the NES, because that was full on orchestral masterpiece, I'm going to say. The game is a little frustrating sometimes, because it's an isometric 3D sort of puzzle game, really, where you're going from room to room trying to find little things. I've not even told you what the title of the game is yet. I hope you've already figured this one out now. It's Solstice, which I used to... Actually, I borrowed it off a friend when I had my NES when I was a kid, and I don't know, I think she might have moved away. I think she lived across the road from us, and she might have moved away, and I don't think she ever got it back. But I think that cartridge now belongs to my friend Tugboat, who bought a load of my NES games off me years ago. And being the... I was going to say hoarder, that sounds bad. Being the collector that he is, he still has basically his whole NES collection that he had growing up, and that's awesome that he's still got them sort of 25 years on. Right, I think we're coming to the end of this pilot episode. I know it's not particularly long for what we'll call a podcast or a show, but at the end of the day, it's a pilot. I just wanted to see how it's gone. And my friend Tim Martin, who is one of my oldest friends, is due round any moment, and we're going to bust out the Super Nintendo Classic, play some Super Mario World, something easy that we can play together that we used to play as a kid. So one of his favourite songs in video gaming, I'm going to put on as our outro song. It's not from the Super Nintendo, actually. It's again from the PlayStation 1. And this is the main theme from the original Worms game on the PlayStation. So yeah, I'm going to leave you with that. I want to thank you so much. I appreciate you guys listening or watching on YouTube. And let me know in the comments what you think, what we can do better. There's a few things I want to bring into this show. I want to bring guests in. I want to talk about their history in gaming, how they got to where they are in gaming today, and we can play some of the tracks of these games and the memories that they have to go along with that, so we can make it a story, you know. So any YouTubers and whatnot out there who want to be a part of this, you know, you don't have to be in the room with me to do this. We can record this in this day and age via Skype or whatever, and we can add the tracks in. So thank you for listening, guys. Just a little thing I wanted to try. It's been a long time since I've done a sort of a podcasty sort of thing. I feel I'm a little bit more confident talking by myself to a computer now than I was 7-8 years ago, when I used to just do little music shows and then just put them out on WeTransfer and stuff. So yes, thank you guys for watching. Let us know what you want to hear. Let us know what you think. And I'm going to leave you with the Worms theme from the PS1. Cheers again, guys.